The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. The government says it's standing by its projections, and that means it's still forecasting a surplus at the end of this fiscal year. The Prime Minister brushing off Fitch's predictions as well. The Teachers Union president claims the government has walked away from negotiations. The Minister of Education says otherwise. And more reaction to bail violations in the country and what needs to be done. That's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
It's a new day. Wake up. It's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end?
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Thursday, July 23rd, 2026. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Laverne Gardner will be here with us. Also this morning, we'll get a preview of the National Youth Guard, what they are doing. They're recruiting for their new cohort. All the details this morning. And later, our monthly series with the Small Business Development Center. We're talking about their Family Island programs. That's all ahead. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, the Davis administration is sticking to its forecast of a $223.1 million surplus this fiscal year, despite a determination by credit ratings agency Fitch that it was overly optimistic. Finance Minister Michael Alquitas, who was out of the country on Wednesday, saying, quote, "We stand by our projections." The opposition, though, hitting back, claiming that the government's fiscal estimates are built on, quote, "wishful thinking, not reality." While the government has touted its projected surplus, Fitch projects a deficit of $64 million in 2026-2027 and a budget surplus not until 2027-2028. Pintard says Fitch's analysis exposed a $287 million hole in the government's fiscal fantasy. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Philip Davis saying that the government is still on target to meet that surplus. Davis, while speaking to reporters yesterday, saying, quote, of Fitch, "That's their prediction. We are satisfied we were able to meet our target. You just look at some of the prognostication given or forecast given by these institutions and see what we've been able to achieve over the last 4 years. You'll see that we've always done better than they have predicted. We intend to do it again this time." Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson accusing the government of abandoning negotiations. She's urging teachers across the country to remain alert for further instructions on the next move. But Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Senator Keenan Johnson, yesterday refuting the claim, stating the government remains committed to ongoing negotiations and discussions. The PUT is trying to negotiate a salary increase for public teachers. But Johnson explained to the NASA Guardian that while not all issues have been resolved, talks are continuing with the Ministry of Finance, its negotiation team. The Ministry of Social Services announcing a $50 increase in school uniform assistance to offer financial relief to parents and guardians ahead of the 2026-2027 academic. to be offered per child. The increase will take effect on July 27th, applying to all tiers of the Uniform Assistance Program. We will see that preschoolers now receive $170, primary and junior schoolers receive $200, and high schoolers receive $230. A Nassau man unanimously acquitted of accusations that he molested a young girl during a second trial. Patrick Poitier was a close friend of his accuser's family. Prosecutors allege that Poitier sexually assaulted the then 11-year-old girl multiple times in 2022. The now 15-year-old told a school guidance counselor about the alleged sexual abuse, prompting a police investigation. Poitier denied the allegations at his trial before acting Justice Roberto Reckley. Poitier was tried earlier this year on the same accusation. However, Justice Renee McKay declared a mistrial during closing submissions. And a man accused of firearm possession while on bail for murder is seeking bail. Dondre Williams was arrested on April 24th after police officers found a loaded gun in a car on April 24th. Police officers searched the vehicle in the parking lot of a South Street Magistrates Court complex and found the Austria Glock 9mm pistol on the back seat. It had been modified to allow rapid fire. They also found a ski mask. The pistol also had an extended magazine containing 31 unfired rounds of 9mm ammunition. As a result of the discovery, police arrested Teran Seymour, Williams, Randy Mackey, and Jeffrey Toussaint. Seymour pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 3 years in prison. Despite his guilty plea, prosecutors are pursuing a case against the other three. Prosecutors have objected to Williams' release on bail. Overseas, Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi rebels saying early today that they had attacked 2 Saudi oil tankers in the Red Sea, and the U.S. military conducted a 12th night of strikes against Iran as the two countries vie for control of vital shipping lanes. The Houthi attack threatened to open a new front in a war that has roiled the global economy, sending prices for fuel and other goods surging across the world. With the standoff in the Gulf deepening, there were no signs of progress in diplomatic efforts to end the conflict. U.S. Central Command said its strikes were designed to further degrade Iran's ability to threaten civilian mariners and commercial vessels transiting regional waters as the Americans push to regain control over the Strait of Hormuz and restore the flow of international shipping. U.S. President Donald Trump warned on Wednesday that the U.S. would destroy one bridge or power plant each time Iran shoots at a ship in the strait. Both sides have increasingly threatened civilian infrastructure. International law generally prohibits such attacks unless the infrastructure is being used for military purposes. Thousands of young protesters camped on the streets of India's new capital, New Delhi, today, defying new restrictions in the latest show of strength for a movement that has become one of the biggest challenges to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government. India's cockroach protests began more than a month ago over alleged leaks in some of the country's most competitive entrance exams for medical colleges and government jobs. The movement has since expanded beyond exam grievances, drawing professionals and families while channeling broader frustration. Thursday's demonstrations at a designated protest site in New Delhi followed overnight clashes in which police used tear gas and batons to disperse crowds. The second such confrontation this week. On Monday, thousands of protesters defied restrictions and marched toward Parliament before police broke up the demonstration with tear gas and batons. Protesters regrouping today, returning to the protest site despite roadblocks, while authorities suspended Delhi's metro services at 16 stations across central New Delhi in an effort to limit access to the demonstrations. And Nicaragua's lawmakers say they plan to carry out a plan by President Daniel Ortega to abolish elections in the Central American country, prompting renewed criticisms Wednesday by the international community. The move was announced in a statement Tuesday by Nicaragua's Congress, which is firmly in the hands of Ortega and President Rosario Murillo. It said the latest constitutional overhaul will ensure Nicaragua's, quote, peace, security, and stability. The legislature was following through on Ortega's announcement from the weekend that, quote, there won't be any more elections, reflecting both his effort to extend his nearly 20-year rule and remove any chance of the opposition gaining power. Under Ortega, the government has carried out a sweeping crackdown on dissent following a violent suppression of protests in 2018. Authorities have jailed opposition politicians, religious leaders, and others, and also shut down thousands of civil society organizations in the country. The Congress has repeatedly amended the Constitution to concentrate power in Ortega's hands and eliminate any shred of democratic independence and dissent in the country.
This is Sports Update.
In sports, Bahamas' 14 and under and 18 and under softball teams turning in respectable performances at the 2026 Pony International Softball World Series in Texas over the last few days. The 18 and under softball team was represented by Sky Albury, Sine Roberts, and more. You can read about that in today's Guardian Sports section. The 18 under squad advanced all the way to the championship game, but suffered a 3-2 loss to Team Angie. Head coach Shane Albury spoke about Sunday's championship matchup. You can read about that again in today's Guardian Sports section. The second annual Bahamas Baseball Association All-Star Weekend is here, set for this weekend, July 24th and through to 26th at the Andre Rogers National Baseball Stadium. All-Star teams have been selected in 3 age groups, and they will play best of 3 series for bragging rights and national acclaim. And 6 nations will battle on the pitch over the course of 3 days for one coveted crown at the inaugural Bahamas Football Association Under-15 Girls Gumbe Soccer Cup, set to begin this Friday at Roscoe A.L. Davies Soccer Fields. The event will run from the 24th through the 26th. The 3-day event will feature under-15 girls teams from the Bahamas, Bermuda, the Cayman Islands, Grenada, Turks and Caicos Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and will not only a goal of leaving with bragging rights, but also an opportunity to further youth development in the sport. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. We've got a severe weather watch in effect for the Northwest Bahamas and the Central Bahamas. Severe weather conditions anticipated across these areas today. The combination of a deep layered trough interacting with an upper level disturbance will support bouts of unsettled weather across these islands, the Northwest Bahamas and the Central Bahamas, while progressively spreading into the extreme northern islands by this evening. Moderate to fresh winds along with moderate seas expected during this time period. So there's a marginal to moderate risk of flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas across the entire country today, especially during heavy and prolonged rainfall events. And there is a moderate to high risk of rip currents for Atlantic exposed waters and southeast coastal waters across the country. Beachgoers and swimmers strongly advised to avoid getting into the water in the southeast Bahamas, and swimmers should not venture into waters where they cannot comfortably stand. Rough surf conditions waters across the country until the start of the weekend. So your forecast for today, that severe watch area, the Northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, and the Central Bahamas, including the Exumas and Long Island, partly cloudy to cloudy conditions today, with a 20 to 50% chance of showers with thunderstorms, especially by this afternoon for the northwest Bahamas. Winds east-northeast to east-southeast at 15 knots, 10 to 15 knots. For the extreme northern islands today, look for a mix of sun and clouds with increasing cloudiness towards the evening hours. A 10 to 30% chance of showers this morning, becoming a 20 to 40% chance by this afternoon and evening with isolated thunderstorms. Winds east-northeast to east-southeast at 10 to 15 knots. The southeast Bahamas also seeing a mix of sun and clouds today, a 20 to 30% chance of streaming showers with thunderstorms. Winds east-northeast to east-southeast at 15 to 20 knots. High temperatures today, highs around 90, 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius for most of the country. The heat index will be a factor for the northwestern islands, making it feel like it's 104 Fahrenheit, 40 Celsius, southeast Bahamas as well. But with the cloud cover and rain chances for the central islands, look for highs in the upper 80s, around 88 Fahrenheit, 31 Celsius. The heat index won't be a factor. And the northern Bahamas until this evening, going to be the hot spot with highs around 93 Fahrenheit, 34 Celsius, with that heat index making it feel like it's 104 Fahrenheit, 40 Celsius. Overnight lows across most areas around 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. Slightly warmer for the extreme northern islands. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have an extended outlook and look at the tropics coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General Insurance, made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
It is time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Cades Village, or call 396-1100.
Did you know that world-class medicine is just a quick flight away in Tampa? Tampa General is Florida's premier academic health system and one of America's top hospitals. Our global medicine program delivers advanced treatment options, assists with coordinating travel, and provides cultural support from a multilingual team. Discover the power of academic medicine at Tampa General's Global Medicine Program. For more, visit tgh.org/global medicine.
At Everybody Wins Live, the winning is bigger, the action is hotter, and the excitement never stops. We're giving away thousands in cash and free spins every month through our high-paying casino tournament. From Spin-Off to Spin Rush to our high-energy slot race tournament, your next spin can turn into your next payday. But that's not all. Lottery players can chase the jackpot, where every $10 lottery spend gets you one step closer to bursting the next jackpot. Will you be our next winner? What are you waiting for? Visit Everybody Wins Live to see all the ways you can cash in.
Running low on summer? Squeeze every drop of fun out of your summer with Fidelity Personal Loan. From backyard upgrades to family getaways, Fidelity is here to help. Call 356-7764 today.
Fidelity, we're good for you. Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, Air, the Athlete's Foot, and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clarkson Island Lock, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
Cool. I just paid my insurance premium online.
That is cool. But how about an insurance portal that does that and more? NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers gives you access to a full-service insurance portal where you can get an instant quote, renew, pay, and manage your documents. All fully online. With NUA, you have so much more than just a payment portal. You have a complete insurance portal. Start now with an instant quote at nuainsurance.com.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Are you a tourism business owner or ready to become one? At the Tourism Development Corporation, we work with tourism entrepreneurs at every stage, turning ideas into thriving businesses and helping existing ones grow. From business development support and funding opportunities to targeted initiatives and strategic partnerships, we're here to help you take that next step. Build your future in tourism with the Tourism Development Corporation. Visit tdcbahamas.com to learn more.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Wendy's has brand new chicken tenders, and they're everything you've been craving. Crispy, juicy, and seasoned just right. These tenders bring the flavor from the very first bite. Dip 'em, dunk 'em, love 'em. With sauces like sweet chili, scorching hot, ranch, honey barbecue, honey mustard, and Wendy's signature sauce. Grab them as a kid's meal, enjoy them on their own, or make it a combo that hits the spot every time. For tenders you're gonna know by name, it's gotta be Wendy's.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Did you know that world-class medicine is just a quick flight away in Tampa? Tampa General is Florida's premier academic health system and one of America's top hospitals. Our global medicine program delivers advanced treatment options, assists with coordinating travel, and provides cultural support from a multilingual team. Discover the power of academic medicine at Tampa General's Global Medicine Program. For more, visit tgh.org/global.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way?
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796 on the Guardian Radio text line. Powered by BTC 422-4796. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Laverne Gardner. Laverne, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well. We missed you last week.
Good. I missed you.
Yeah? Okay, great to have you back.
Maybe not you, but certainly our listeners.
Oh, see now. Anyway, glad to have you back. Hopefully we won't
it's good to be back.
Be without you for long. Hopefully you'll be with us for many Thursdays to come. Okay. We've got a lot to talk about today, including the National Youth Guard. They're going to be here to tell us about the recruitment for their latest cohort. And later, our monthly series with SBDC, we are talking about Family Island program. Some interesting things going on with them. We'll get more on that this morning. That's all ahead, but let's begin right now with what else is in the news. In the news, the big headline in the National Guardian, we stand by our projections. The government's still forecasting a $223 million surplus. This despite the predictions from Fitch Ratings, which says, we don't think so. We think they're going to be deficits for this current fiscal year and for the previous fiscal year, which the government was saying that this would be the first one with a surplus since independence. So, Prime Minister Davis also brushing off Fitch's predictions. So, there's a couple stories in The Guardian today about this. Tanika Thompson writing that the Davis administration is sticking to its forecast of a $223.1 million surplus this fiscal year, despite a determination by credit ratings agency Fitch Ratings that it was overly optimistic. Finance Minister Michael Halkitis saying, quote, we stand by our projections. Halkitis out of the country on Wednesday, but still saying that. So we told you about this yesterday, what Fitch was saying. So the NASA Guardian's been following this. Everyone's been talking about this since last year. Remember last year when the Prime Minister during the budget debate said that they projected that they would have a surplus at the end of the budget year, which ended in June. So we don't know yet whether they did end up with this surplus, but Fitch is saying we don't think they did. The NASA Guardian reported in February that the government arrears and unpaid invoices in the first 6 months of the 2025-2026 fiscal year doubled compared to the same period in the previous fiscal year. So how can you have a surplus, right? The numbers from the Ministry of Finance show that total arrears and unpaid invoices were $241 million at December 31st, 2025. They were $122 million at the end of December 2024. In addition to those outstanding amounts, there were the indirect amounts that the government has an obligation to pay to the tune of $100 million if the state-owned enterprises cannot pay them. Unpaid invoices for the SOEs, as they're called, went from $9.9 million at December 31st, 2024 to $100 million at December 31st, 2025. While Fitch Ratings projected that the Davis administration is broadly moving toward fiscal consolidation with declining debt, the release issued by the agency on Tuesday also suggested that the $75 million budget surplus that the Davis administration projected in 2025-2026 will not be realized. The final numbers for that fiscal year, which recently ended, have not come in as yet. When he presented the 2025-2026 budget communication in May 2025, Prime Minister Philip Davis, who was Minister of Finance at the time, said famously now, quote, for the very first time since independence, we have finally secured the achievement of a balanced budget, more than a balanced budget, a budget with a surplus. So there's reaction to this from the opposition, Michael Halkitis, pointing to concerns that the FNM has had about this from last year. But to Fitch's projection, Senator Lortre Ramming, Director of Communications in the Office of the Prime Minister. So he's still that, Laverne? He's still the Director of Communications
Apparently.
and Senator. Okay. Said in a statement.
Senator. He
Oh,
could do both. He's multitasking.
well, okay. Okay.
Okay.
Quote, external observers have an effectiveness of the government's fiscal approach in the past. We remain confident in our fiscal strategy and in achieving the outcomes foreshadowed in our budgetary projections, supported by the government's ongoing revenue enhancement, expenditure management, and debt reduction measures. Okay. And Prime Minister Davis also responding to this, he said yesterday that the government is still on target to meet the surplus in this current fiscal year of $223.1 million, saying of Fitch, quote, that's their prediction. We are satisfied that we were able to meet our target. You just look at some of the prognostication given or forecast given by these institutions and see what we've been able to achieve over the last few years. You'll see that we've always done better than they have predicted. We intend to do it again this time. Okay. So what do you make of that? What do you make of all of that? They're saying that, no, we think Fitch is wrong. Remember now, Fitch is the one they invited in. We already had S&P and Moody's here. And they invited Fitch in, I guess, for I don't know why, but they did. And so now they don't agree with what Fitch is saying.
Fitch perhaps Fitch does not have all of the information that the government has. And so based on whatever inside information the government has, when they look at what's coming, what's going out, what's being spent, but what they are bringing in terms of investments and all of the and fees and everything else, they are standing by their prediction.
So when you have not paid the insurance for some public servants, and so many other people are saying they are owed money, but you're claiming that that you have a $75 million budget surplus, what does that mean?
I don't know. Perhaps you need to ask the director of communication what that means. For me, that would mean that there's no way you can have a surplus, and perhaps that surplus needs to go to areas that are outstanding. But again, I'm not on the inside to know how this works, how their math works, but the government is adamant that they will achieve the surplus. I've been waiting since the end of June to see if the initial prediction was correct. We have not heard anything as yet, but clearly they know more than Fitch knows or anyone else who will say that.
So you're being a bit
not going to.
You're being sarcastic, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, all right, because you're sounding very like it's getting lost in translation there. This is foolishness, right? There's no other way to you can't pretty it up. You cannot claim. I mean, you could if I'm not paying any bills.
Clearly, you
can do it.
Dwight. Clearly
I ain't paying no bills, and I'm gonna have a lot of money left over at the end of the month or the end of the year. You could do that, but you haven't paid any bills, and people want their money. And some of them are very angry. And some are talking about strike and suspending or canceling your services. So, okay, you've just changed priorities. That's fine. And you can't get mad when other people say, well, we don't think what you're saying is right. So,
well, let me say this. How did Fitch come up with their conclusion that the government is being overly optimistic and it's more than likely there will be a deficit? What numbers did they use?
I'm sure it's
what
in their
information did they have?
It's all in their report. It's all in their report. But they know they've done their analysis. This is what they've come up with.
Well, what analysis did the government use then to come up with their stance that we will experience, they will experience a surplus?
Now that's the question.
What numbers did they use? How did they make their determination? Because clearly, the information that Fitch has is not the same information that the government has. It cannot be, because I am sure that much like Fitch has qualified people who do this all the time, the government also has qualified people who do this all the time. So there must be a disconnect somewhere.
But not even make it international. Bahamians in the financial sector were saying this from this time last year. We had them on the show. They were all over the media questioning any surplus. We had Pamela Musgrove, who's a huge thing in the financial sector, saying she right here on the show. What? And it didn't make any sense from that time. How could it be?
I clearly remember that. I one time I was in Nassau. We had some other financial experts, and they were talking about this. So I do remember, but I'm just saying there has to be some information that all of these people who looked at what was available and determined that we're not going to have a surplus. They must not have some information that the government has. It has to be.
Okay, that's possible. Or we're just being fed a bunch of information that somebody thinks would be helpful to us, right? So it could be any one of those possibilities there. Let's hear from you, though. Let's get your reaction. We don't want the government to fail. We don't want them to be wrong. But we have to question, how can this be? Look at the roads. Look at the infrastructure on many of the islands. Look at all these things that need to be addressed. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? There have been no lights, those street lights on Tonic Williams-Darling Highway for more than 6 months. I want to say it was from last year. Same thing with JFK. More than last year, my producer's saying it's been months. No one's doing anything about it. But you've got extra money? Did we contract that out to a private firm? And do we have a PPP for streetlights? And it's up to them? What are we talking about? What am I missing? What's really going on here? Why are you're tired of saying it now, but gaslighting us? This is insane. You owe plenty people money. Plenty people. They're saying they're owed money from last year. Some are saying even longer. But you have a surplus? Caller, what say you? Good morning.
Morning, Dwight. How are you?
Frustrated.
Laverne, how are you? I think your co-host approach this morning or response is kind of very well balanced in terms of we don't know what information, but I have a bigger question, right? I would be interested to know, where did the organization come from out of the blue doing the report?
That's not true. What do you mean by that? The government hired them, brought them in. They didn't come out of the blue.
Allow me.
Don't talk foolishness on the radio. That's all I'm saying.
I'm
right?
not
They didn't come out of the blue. They are given access to the information.
I'm calling in.
Not out of the blue.
Yeah, I'm just saying I'd be interested to know where did Finch come from out of the blue.
Stop it. Stop. They were brought in by the government to provide balance to what S&P and Moody's is doing. Also invited to do this. Not out of the blue. No, they don't care. They don't give a crap. Out of the blue? Come on now.
Hello?
The spinning. Yeah, we can hear you. The spinning is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Out of it, and Dwight recognized that Finch is out of
because
because they are not saying they are not supporting what the government is saying, right? So we realize that.
But when they do come forward, that said, and they're saying the government's doing a great job consolidating the debt. They said that, but they don't
Correct.
think they're right with the assertions. It's not they're not damning them. They're not saying they're horrible. They're just saying they're a little optimistic with the numbers. Now, other people, Bahamians have been telling the government this, right? Because they know that you have many obligations. Are you meeting your obligations? No one's saying they're on the verge of collapse, but let's not be silly. Let's not be silly. You've got lots to do, and you're talking about surpluses? Not out of the blue. Let's not be silly. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Caller, are you there? Hi, good morning. You're live. You are live on the air. We can hear you. Okay, I don't know what's happening there. Good morning, caller. You're live. Turn on your radio for us, please.
Hello?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing, Dwight?
Doing well.
Well, Dwight, to you and your guests, I just want to say good morning, and I give God all the glory, honor, and praise. But, Dwight, if you could remember during the election, a very wise young man, a great leader of the F&M, said that there's no way they had a surplus. He made the prediction on the passports. He spoke about the economy because he understands the economy. And he also made the statement that it was fraudulent. Now, Dwight, I don't know how you all see things, but you got to look bright on the radio, too. And I'm not saying this in an insulting way. If the government hired a company, a consulting company for the accounts, and the company that they hired was not in agreement with the government, it's obvious that the government fraud the people to win the election.
What?
Yes, they fraud the people to believe that there was a surplus so they could win the election.
Well, you didn't have to believe it. I mean, okay. I mean, mouth can say anything. The fiscal year, anything could happen. They're dependent on revenue. So I could decide I'm not buying anything anymore, right? Plenty of people could have said, I don't have any money. I'm not going to import anything. I'm not going to buy anything. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to pay taxes. I'm not going to do all this stuff. And that could have just thrown everything out of whack, too. It's one of the risks with the system we have. But, I mean, they make all kinds of promises. And fraud, no. People did what they wanted to do. And plenty of people didn't vote. But, Okay, caller, this is going to be one of these mornings. Caller, good morning, you're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight, and good morning to Oliver Warren Gardner.
Yes,
good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, Dwight, if I do nothing for you, and in a term, right, and you know the same issues what you now still facing, you was facing in the past term, and you keep saying you can do. If you don't give me my money, I come in. And then you never show up. You just keep threatening the man would owe you the money, and he keeps saying, okay, well, and he keep. But if these people who are owed by the government, that happen to be just about everybody, don't stand up and say like your government, like you ain't. This guy ain't not no violence. This guy ain't moving until I get my pay, right? The government ain't checking for these people because this administration, they know once they can find eloquent sounding speeches and they send them out there to the people, it dies right down, right? The people has no more fight. I mean, look at the teachers' union, a powerful union, but from before this administration got in, last time they was promising these union and I call it swinging them from before this administration when Dr. Minnis was in they were swinging these people them. So I'm not expecting nothing to happen because why? They literally want this man to say, "Oh man, I'm sorry, and give me. I can just pay you out." Really? If this prime minister had that character, then the Bahamian people wouldn't have to been inside the position right now waiting for medical supplies in the hospital and dialysis machining, waking and and ambulance and the list goes on and on and on because we don't need to do nothing because y'all really don't want nothing.
Okay.
Have a nice day, Dwight.
Okay, that was a lot. Thanks a lot. Some messages. Do people understand how this works? How that the government brings Fitch in, pays them, provides them with the data, and cooperates them? This isn't just Fitch sticking its nose in. They're working with the government data, among other things. Right? They're analyzing what the government presents to them. Yeah. Another person saying it's not true that they have new information that the government doesn't have. It's that the government gives them the information. They don't share it with the public, though. But plus, Fitch has access to many sources locally, and that the ordinary person won't have. Yeah.
Dwight, let me just say, I get all of that, right? I understand that. But in my mind, if you bring in this organization, you provide them with all of this information for them to make a correct analysis, and they make their analysis. And their analysis is similar to other people who professionals in this same area, the same thing that they have said.
Yep.
This company that you brought in is saying the same thing. And in the midst of all of these professionals looking at the information available to them and coming up with this conclusion, but yet you are standing by what you're saying, then clearly you have access to something they do not. That, to my mind, that's the only way it could be. It can't be because you feel so. It can't be an intuition. It just has to be that you must have a document that you're standing by, a document that is the foundation for what you believe, and that document you didn't pass on to all of these experts, Fitch, and all of the local, the national professionals in that area did not have. It has to be, because other than that, this is insanity.
Well, this text says here we have to ask the government to define surplus. The government's definition of surplus is not what most of us understand it to mean clearly. Well, perhaps, and nor does Fitch and maybe S&P and Moody's or any of the financial experts in the country, it seems.
And you just, and really and truly, if this is what you've been touting, then it's almost like you don't have a choice but to stand by it, because you've made this public. You've said this and you've touted this, and this is part of why you're such a good government that you're able to do this. And so where do you go from here after you've said all of this? But you have to stand by it.
This text says here the government's delusional or believes that people are stupid and will believe anything. Well, many will, and many sadly are. You can always have a surplus.
That's why they say things like, where does company come from out of the blue?
Right.
It didn't come from out of the blue. It came right from the government's hiring.
Doing a book report on the Bahamas, decided to look at our economy.
Yeah.
This texter says you can always have a surplus by not paying your bills. Yeah, and that's obviously what's going on.
There you go.
We'll get back to the calls in a second. Do you know how your bank account would look if you ignored your bills and household maintenance for a whole year? We'd all have a surplus. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ah, boy. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you and the guests doing this morning?
We're doing well.
Good morning.
Good morning. Dwight, I think now it's gotten to the point where I think a lot of the citizens are afraid to report or say anything because maybe you could be in fear of your life if you report anything to the police.
Are we talking about Fitch?
Yesterday, Dwight.
Are you talking about Fitch and the projections?
Hello?
Are you talking about Fitch and the projections and the deficit and the surplus?
Yeah, but I want to say something, Dwight, that I think is important, though.
Okay, but you can't just derail the show like this right now. I mean, I don't know where that's not how this one works. It's not an open line show. The caller who said out of the blue is clearly one of the people elevated to seniority. No, I'm not going to read the rest of that. That's not cool. The government uses these rating agencies to provide assessments to support their ability to access loans on the international market. It's like a credit bureau for governments. For an assessment agency to do its work, the government has to provide it with data. So the assessment came more like out of the red. Yeah, okay. Not out of the blue. Not out of the blue. Another texter, denial is a serious thing when you don't want to come to grips with the truth. Yeah. Wow. The present government administration may be gassed up, but I don't think this is anything new. It appears to me that this is some kind of standard practice for any government to gas up the population with weird proclamations and projections, and also to even double down on the weird nonsense. That's how it works. Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it is our responsibility to talk about that
And to decipher
right?
it. And you're seeing that all over the world. And
So
some leaders
that's fine.
react by attacking the people who are criticizing them,
Correct.
which we see very often here sometimes, and especially further north. And in some places, they do even worse things to the people who are critical of them and their statements. So, boy, yeah. Okay, before we go to the news, really quickly, when we come back from the news, we're going to talk about again the controversy around this and what some are saying. But really quickly, just want to mention this. There was shock yesterday with the memorial to the car crash victims on Shirley Street. It just was gone. And so now the Ministry of Works and the management of the Church Street Plaza, they're both denying responsibility for moving that roadside memorial honoring the 5 young people killed in that Shirley Street traffic tragedy. The Tribune's reporting this, saying that a ministry spokesperson said no official had been authorized to remove the memorial and confirmed that the site is on private property. Eyewitness News reported that the management of the Church Street Plaza, that business complex right there, also denied removing it. So who did it? Who did it? The cameras are there and captured the horrible crash, so I hope we can use the cameras to see who did it. I sadly believe it is some unscrupulous, heartless, evil, spineless, unhuman-like people.
Wow.
Who did
Those
that?
are strong words.
I wanted to
Dwight.
say much worse, Laverne, much worse. Right? I can see them right now shoving it all in their cube or something. Oh, boy. But I hope you can sleep at night, whoever you are. Or should I say, I hope you don't ever sleep again. We got to take a break for news. We'll be back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Fly right down and catch it, babe. See how they fly. Run, my mama, come see the crow. See how they fly. Run, my mama, come see the crow. See how they fly. They go, let's go. See how they fly. Fly right down and out of go. See how they fly. There's a brown girl in the ring. Tra la 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 la. There's a brown girl in the ring. Tra la 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 la. There's a brown girl in the ring. Tra la 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 la. Man, she look like a sugar in the plum. Come on and show me your motion. Tra la 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 la. Oh, come show me your motion. Tra la la la. Y'all come show me your motion. Tra la 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 la. And she look like a sugar in the plum. Blue head water dry, yeah. Nowhere to wash my clothes. I remember one Saturday night.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your television, Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line 422-4796, powered by BTC. And now, day 22, it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. If you're ready to refresh your space, head to your local Sherwin-Williams for top-quality paints, expert advice, and everyday deals to help you save, only at Sherwin-Williams, Bahamas. So we've got a lot happening weather-wise, changes coming as well. We've got a severe weather watch now in effect for the northwest and central Bahamas. That includes New Providence. Severe weather conditions expected across this part of the country today. The combination of a deep layered trough interacting with an upper-level disturbance will support bouts of unsettled weather across the central and northwest Bahamas today, while progressively spreading into the northern Bahamas by this evening. Moderate to fresh winds along with moderate seas anticipated over the next couple of days. Pattern will continue across much of the country on Friday, as well as the deep layered trough in association with an approaching tropical wave will continue to drift westward through the islands into the weekend. Then a frontal boundary is forecast to stall across the southeastern United States. That's going to allow for an associated plume of moisture and atmospheric instability to remain entrenched across the northern Bahamas into early next week. As high pressure gradually rebuilds across the region, improving weather conditions are expected to spread into the central and southeast Bahamas early next week. By Tuesday, though, another robust tropical wave is forecast to enter the area, and that's going to usher in more threats of thunderstorms and showers across especially the southern half of the country by the middle of next week. So a few rainy days ahead. We need the rain, though. There is a marginal to moderate risk of flooding today in low-lying and flood-prone areas across the entire country, especially during heavy and prolonged rainfall events. And there is a moderate to high risk of Atlantic-exposed water seeing rip currents, southeast coastal waters as well. Beachgoers and swimmers strongly advised to stay out of the water in the southeast Bahamas, and to stay out of the water in which you cannot comfortably stand across the country. Rough surf conditions will affect the entire island chain until the weekend. So your forecast for today, across that severe watch area, the northwest and central Bahamas, partly cloudy to cloudy, with a 20 to 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, especially for the afternoon hours here in the northwest Bahamas. The northern islands and the southeastern islands looking at a mix of sun and clouds today, but look for increasing cloudiness for the northernmost islands by this evening. You've got a 10 to 30% chance of showers this morning in the northernmost islands, increasing to about 20 to 40% chance by this evening, and a 20 to 30% chance for the southeast Bahamas. Temperatures today look for highs for most areas around 91 Fahrenheit. 33 Celsius. The heat index will be a factor for the central Bahamas. Highs around 104, feel like 104 Fahrenheit, 40 Celsius. For the northwest Bahamas, highs closer to, well, the extreme northern islands look for highs around 93 Fahrenheit, 34 Celsius. But the heat index will make it feel like it's 104 and 40 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 80, 81 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. In your extended outlook for tomorrow, Friday, looking at partly cloudy to cloudy conditions with a 40 to 70% chance of showers with thunderstorms. The southern half of the country looking at a mix of sun and clouds with about a 20 to 30% chance of showers. By Saturday, partly cloudy for the northern half of the country, partly sunny with a few in the southern half of the country. Still elevated rain chances for the northern half with about a 30 to 50% chance of showers with isolated thunderstorms. And by Sunday, partly cloudy to cloudy for the northernmost islands, a mix of sun and clouds for the rest of the country. And that will hold into Monday with about a 30 to 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms. In the tropics, Tropical storm Bertha still out in the Gulf region, moving westward south of the Louisiana coast, expected to make a second landfall along the Gulf Coast near Texas today. Maximum sustained winds are near 45 miles per hour with higher gusts. Little change in strength is expected. Bertha forecast to maintain tropical storm intensity up until it reaches the upper Texas coast later today. Again, no threat from Bertha to the Bahamas. That's your morning blend weather check. This weather check brought to you by Nassau Gumbe Summer Festival this week, Friday, tomorrow. Downtown Nassau with great musical performances. And again, next week, Friday, from noon to 12 midnight, all roads lead to Gumbe Summer Festival. For more information, check out Bahamas.com and follow social media for more updates. And it's time for traffic, brought to you by Anyway Insurance Agents and Brokers. In your real-time traffic right now, we've got our usual hot spots. Mile Butler Highway seeing some heavy traffic just north of Fire Trail as you approach the ponds, heading up to Tawny Williams Darling Highway, that long line there. Traffic backed up a bit along Tawny Williams Darling Highway as well. That's westbound mainly. Then we've got pockets along Blue Hill Road from St. Vincent, some congestion there northbound, and especially near Carmichael and north of Soldier Road on the way to the roundabout with Independence Drive. You're going to be seeing that slow-moving traffic there. Also have some slow-moving traffic along Independence Drive, that's westbound, and East Street south of the intersection with Soldier Road, that heavy northbound traffic as you make your way to the roundabout with Independence Drive East-West Highway. Elsewhere, pockets along Prince Charles Drive, the major intersections, and especially heading into Robinson Road, west of Soldier Road, that slow-moving westbound traffic there, all the way up to Marathon East-West Highway. Bit of congestion for you on West Bay Street near Saunders Beach and the Providence Highway roundabout. That's eastbound. And again, east of Arawaki on West Bay near Nassau Street, heading into downtown Nassau. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert, brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. There's more to online insurance and paying your premium. With NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers, online insurance goes beyond payments. You can get an instant car insurance quote, buy a new policy or renew an existing one, pay your premium, or access your insurance documents all online. Discover everything a full-service online insurance portal can do at nuainsurance.com.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Record snap! Come on! When my mama come see the grow, see how they come see the grow.
And we are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. And coming up in a few minutes, Laverne, we're going to be talking with the National Youth Guard about their upcoming cohort, getting all the details about their recruitment drives in the next couple of days. And later, our monthly series with Small Business Development Center, talking about Family Island programs that they have. So a lot of great information coming up in a few minutes. But we continue with what's in the news. And, of course, a lot of people, Laverne, talking about bail here and these violations we've been hearing about. People out on bail not checking in 81 times, 66 times. It's just amazing. Just amazing stuff. Guardian today, murder accused who's out on bail, seeking bail again on a gun charge now, something else. So a man accused of firearm possession while on bail for murder is seeking bail. Dondre Williams was arrested on April 24th after police officers found a loaded gun in a car on April 24th. Police officers searched the vehicle in the parking lot of the South Street Magistrates Court Complex and found the Austria Glock 9mm pistol on the back seat. The gun had been modified to allow rapid fire, and they also found a ski mask.
What?
Mm-hmm. The pistol also had an extended magazine containing 31 unfired rounds of 9mm ammunition. As a result of the discovery, police arrested Williams along with Teran Seymour, Randy Mackey, and Jeffrey Toussaint. Seymour pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 3 years in prison. Despite the guilty plea, prosecutors are still pursuing a case against the other men. Prosecutors have objected to Williams' release on bail, and Archer Mins will hand down her decision on August 12th. Out on bail for murder in a car with the gun. Uh-huh. All right, so many are having many issues with this. You heard it in the news. I'm going to play it again for you, and we'll have some. We'll talk a little bit after we hear this report from our Vonik Toot.
Shadow Minister for Legal Affairs Michaela Barnett Ellis is calling for a tougher, more aggressive approach to enforcing bail conditions, following reports that a man charged with the murder of James McPhee allegedly breached the terms of his bail by failing to report to a police station 81 times between January 3rd and July 8th, 2026. McPhee was the key witness in 39-year-old Adnan Oliver's upcoming armed robbery trial.
What we're really seeing is an indication of the system and the flaws in the system. Because even when you look at the gentleman who's been charged for Mr. McPhee's murder, his 81 breaches happened between January and June of this year, which is over an extended period of time. It's 81 breaches over 6 months. And the question is, what systems are in place so that when you have somebody who's on bail that breaches their bail conditions, what are the systems so that is communicated to the prosecutor so that they can apply to have bail revoked, so that the witness can be warned, because you don't know if that's an indication of something else, but it's clearly an indication of somebody with very little respect for the law and for court orders.
Oliver is accused of murdering McPhee on July 12th, just weeks before he was scheduled to testify against him in a trial set to begin in August. Oliver is also accused of robbing McPhee at gunpoint of his Rolex watch in 2019. Barnett Ellis says the case underscores the critical importance of ensuring that bail conditions are not only imposed, but also strictly monitored and enforced.
So when we talked about the amendments to the Bail Act, and everybody was throwing blame here, there, and everywhere as to why persons get bail. But I think that this shows that it's a much larger problem, and it's not, granting bail restrictions associated with the bail are put in place, and that somebody is keeping an eye on, making sure that people check in, and when they don't check in, that matter goes to prosecutors so they can apply to have the bail revoked, because that is the consequence for breaching your bail condition.
A 28-year-old attempted murder and possession of a firearm is also back behind bars after he allegedly failed to sign in at a police station 66 times between February 18th and July 17th. Attorney General Wayne Monroe said people who sign as sureties have an obligation to ensure that the accused complies with the conditions of bail. However, the Free National Movement that responsibility cannot rest solely with suretors, arguing that authorities must take a more proactive role in enforcing court-ordered bail conditions.
They seem to want to blame everybody else except for the defendant. The person who needs to be held accountable for breaching the bail is the person on bail, is the defendant, and there are mechanisms in place to deal with that. If they think that the suretors aided and abetted, okay, then go after the suretors. But the first thing is, you've breached the bail, we going back to court to have that bail revoked, because clearly you have no respect for the law or the courts. And I hope that after seeing these particular cases that have been made public, that prosecutors take a more aggressive approach, and that police officers take a more aggressive approach in terms of notifying the prosecutors. You know, John Doe has not checked in on Monday. He has not checked in on Tuesday. Let them know. Keep track of this so that the necessary consequences can follow.
Barnett Ellis said she knew McPhee personally as he was her constituent.
Mr. McPhee was a resident of Killarney, and so my condolences to his family, who I've been in contact with. He was quite the character. He was somebody that I knew personally. But what we want to see is this: we have systems in place. We're not reinventing the wheel. There are systems in place, but like we have said so often, it is the execution, it is the enforcement.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Vonique Tude.
Okay, so Laverne, I was in my car yesterday and I almost drove off the road. I was listening to another station and I heard their newscast, and they played a clip from Attorney General Wayne Monroe. And I really couldn't believe it. So I went back and I looked at the Tribune from yesterday, and it's in the Tribune yesterday as well. So I'm going to read this for you because I don't have the clip, but this is what he said. I heard him say it. So the article in the Tribune says that Attorney General Wayne Monroe played of the reporting conditions, saying its purpose is to ensure that an accused person appears for trial. So he said, quote, "The more positive way that we have to protect the public with people on bail, if they're considered dangerous, is to electronically monitor them. The way you know where they are 24 hours a day, as opposed to the one moment you walk into a police station and sign a book or do the biometric thing. So the condition of signing into a police station is about preventing you from absconding. If he's being electronically monitored, I don't understand why somebody who's being electronically monitored needs to sign in at a police station. You know where to find him 24 hours a day." And the reason I almost drove off the road is because we've heard this happen before, where people will cut off the ankle bracelets and put it on the cat, put it on the dog, put it on a tree, and it looks like they're in their yard for 5 days. They left their yard. Oh, he's behaving, eh? But he's all the way in another country, or at least on the other side of the island. I don't understand how a former national security minister and a current attorney general can say something like this.
Right. You know what has happened to us over the past couple of days with someone trying to enter our home who was supposedly being electronically monitored, who cut off their ankle bracelet.
Oh, I didn't know that part. He cut it off?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And still at large.
Still at large in Grand Bahama. Well, you think he's in Grand
Still
Bahama.
at large in Grand Bahama, if he's still here.
Right.
So we can't be so flippant about these things. Oh, you know where they are. You do not know where they are. This gentleman did not, and I'm going back to the case, did not show up how many times?
81.
81 times.
Between January and July.
Between January and July of this year, 81 times. At what point was sent out seeing that he is electronically monitored and pick him up because he did not show up?
And again,
We can't say that these people are being electronically monitored because the reason is because you don't know for 100% if you are monitoring who you think you're monitoring.
Absolutely.
You may be monitoring the cat, the dog, or whoever.
Yeah. The bedridden grandmother.
Exactly. You could be monitoring everybody. And this last incident, if the hundreds of incidents before haven't sent a wake-up call that we need to do some things differently, right? We have to be more vigilant. When these people are being monitored electronically, we have to be more vigilant with that. We have to be able that when they don't sign, if to sign in, you got to check on them.
Yeah.
You have to check on them even if they are. If every 2 weeks you send a patrol car because Dwight is supposed to be here in his yard because he can't leave his yard. We're going to drive by. We're going to knock on the door. That should be a part of the routine. And then our lawmakers have to look at this bail act. How many times do you give one person bail? I'm on bail for armed robbery. I'm on bail for
Murder.
assault. I'm on bail for I'm on bail for murder. Like 3 different bail. This doesn't make any sense. How can you be on bail for so many things at one time? There should be some sort of revocation if you are on bail and you commit another crime. Well, we're revoking your bail and you cannot get bail because this is what happened while you were on bail.
Unbelievable
These
stuff.
are the things that lawmakers need to. These things can be done. We just have to want to have the will to do it because the other nonsense we push through.
The phone lines are lit up. We don't have much time. Let's take these calls. Let's get to the call. The phone line. Good morning, call. You're live on the air.
Morning, Dwight. Morning, Laverne. Dwight.
Hi.
The story with the gentleman who was found wearing the ankle bracelet, face up in the water. Right. I mean, I was when I was listening to that story, they said something about the ankle monitoring unit, right? And I was wondering if when they say the ankle monitoring unit, they are referring to the department within the police department, because I can remember some time back that the ankle monitoring was done by a private company. So I'm trying to figure out if it's still done by a private company or is the police involved? Why was it referred to as the ankle monitoring unit, right? And maybe the individuals out on bail, maybe they got to understand what Mr. Monroe was thinking. Whereas, if I got a ankle monitor on, I don't have to go in and.
Boy, that would be terrible.
I'm only trying to figure.
I just don't think they care.
It's crazy. You understand where I'm coming from? Like that's unbelievable. But we need to do better in this country, Dwight. The ankle monitoring thing is obviously not working there. Private people operating that.
It is still private,
full hands of the police.
But they work in hand with the police. They work in hand with the
thank
police.
you very much. I'll have a good day.
Yeah, thanks a lot. All right, so it is still private, but so perhaps that's what they meant there. Let's take another call really quickly. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Turn on your radio for us, please.
Listen, like back in the day, we had these truant officers, for children who don't show up to school. Now, the way I see it, if you live in Nassau Village or if you live in Kennedy Sub and they looking for you to come in to that station to sign in, isn't that the way the procedure is?
You're supposed to go into whichever one they tell you to go to.
Pardon?
You're supposed to go to whichever station they tell you to go to.
I can't hear you.
Yes,
but here's my point. Between, the East Street covers those same areas that I just mentioned. Between the station where you have to go and sign in and you getting back home in Nassau Village, all kind of things could happen. Okay? What they need to do, and when I say all kind of things, all kind of marijuana or whatever, and you could even go missing by the next 2 weeks when they require you to come in. Have the companies, what they need to do is have the companies go to this is 22nd century thinking now. Go to your house and let you sign. We need to go back to that, like the truant officer. You see? Go to them, make sure they home. Instead of allowing them, because you ain't gonna trust, they ain't coming in.
What, ma'am?
Okay? I think that needs to be, that little thing right there is a loophole.
I'm going to go to the house of an accused murderer to make sure that he's, really? Okay. Come to the police station, please. Seriously. What? We're making this too complicated. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. And then all these people don't need to be out on bail, too. Caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
Dwight,
That was 22nd century.
Well, I don't want to make it to that one.
Dwight.
Keep me here in the 21st, please.
And she said, let's go to the tune of, and that's 22nd century thinking.
Yeah, things are going to get very bad.
Just a fine example of just part of why we are as a people. But the point I want to make, Dwight, again, I always say to you, Dwight, thank you for helping us digest some of these issues as a people. But Dwight, to hear you this morning to say that you don't know why the former Minister of National Security would make a statement as such. To hear you say you don't know why, causes about you, Dwight. When you're the one, you get what I'm saying coming from, Dwight. But the point I want to make,
I'm sure I'm missing something. It can't
Dwight,
be.
Dwight, you ain't
he was elected by people.
National issues you haven't missed,
it's
Dwight.
It's
and
not.
If you missed, I sure someone at the Guardian should have called you in to say, Dwight, you missed on that issue. But Dwight, for you to say you don't know why the former minister made that statement,
it does, and I still can't.
Okay, I can move on from Dwight. That's right. The point I want to make, though, I thank you for recounting his words to us, but I'd like to see if you can find the audio because I'd like to hear it in context.
It sounded just as bad as what I read. Trust me.
You may be reading it in a particular
Well, I'll have to
context.
ask our competition to send it to me. That's
Please,
a tricky
please.
situation.
Us here at the Guardian, we deserve to hear the audio of that.
I'll see
The point that I want to make, though, Dwight, is that when we come to, as a people, electing leaders, I pray and hope that the Bahamian people understand that it seems as if we have no leaders that care about our person and our safety as a people. They care about our vote. But where are the policies that show us that they truly care about our person as a people? Thank you, Dwight.
Thank you very much. All right, let's take a break. I'm scared. Laverne, well, obviously you had a terrible week. This is very scary what happened with you all. And you had that guy on Ring camera, a fugitive, who cut off his ankle bracelet and is roaming Grand Bahama terrorizing people.
Correct. That is
We've seen the flyers from the police looking for him with his weird name. But the minister doesn't, the AG doesn't understand why they need to check it. Oh boy. Okay. We'll be back. Stay with us here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Man take one and satisfy. Woman take two, then she make a move. Man take one and satisfy. Woman take two, then she make a. Man take one and satisfy. Woman take two, then she make a. Man take one and satisfy. Then she say, Miss Lucy, hang herself in the mango tree. Miss Lucy, hang herself in the mango tree.
Sherwin-Williams Bahamas doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge. And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, and we had exams at the end of each product.
Yeah.
The only way we could sell the product effective, we have to know that product. Yeah, that helps us to relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know what product to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use. So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys, and the key product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find color in every day.
Hey, did you ever sort out the car insurance?
I thought you did.
No, I sent it to you.
You sent me the reminder.
Okay, hold on. Okay, done.
Done?
Yeah, renewed, paid.
NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers gives you access to a full-service insurance portal where you can get an instant quote, renew, pay, and manage your documents, all fully online. With NUA, you have a complete insurance portal. Start now with an instant quote at nuainsurance.com.
At Cleveland Clinic, you set your course, not cancer. So when your journey takes an unexpected turn, you seek out the experts who've conquered it before, and you forge new paths to help fight cancers. For every route to a cure, for every care in the world. See how we're innovating Cleveland Clinic today.
The Blue Heart is the global symbol for human trafficking. It represents solidarity with the victims
and a commitment to ending the exploitation of human lives. See the Blue Heart, know the cause, take a stand.
New school year, new gear. From uniforms to laptops, a Fidelity personal loan can help you check every item off of your kid's school list. Jump into back to school season with ease. Apply for a Fidelity personal loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Shop early to get your uniforms and get Janae's Uniform Center's buy 4, get 1 free sale. Pre-monogrammed and regular school shirts, dry fit and cotton polos, jumpers, skirts, boys' long and short pants, PE shorts, underclothes, tights, socks, neckties, belts, sleeping mats, hair accessories, and character work desks. Get 50% off backpacks, lunch bags, and raincoats. Buy 4 school shirts, get 1 free. Buy 2 skirts, jumpers, or pants, get the third 50% off. Need embroidery and monogramming done? Visit Janae's Uniform Center early. Beat the back-to-school rush. Janae's Chesapeake Road back-to-school special apply.
It may be hot outside, but you can stay cool knowing B.O.B. is backing your summer plans. That's because summer starts with Bank of the Bahamas.
Whether you're paying school fees, planning home improvements, or taking a much-needed vacation, B.O.B. offers the lowest consumer loan rate in the country, and we will beat any rate offered by 1%.
So don't sweat the small stuff. Let B.O.B. help you take care of business so you can get to summer fun. Apply for your B.O.B. summer loan today.
B.O.B., your bank of solutions.
Attention All-Star students.
The season for school success starts now at John Bull Business Center. Stock up on notebooks, backpacks, pens, calculators, art supplies, and more with 20% off school supplies and 10% off teaching aids. Shop now through September 12th, and every purchase automatically enters you to win one of 3 Apple prizes. This year is your season to shine. Gear up, save big, and start your school year like a champ with John Bull Business Center.
At Star General, you can go gold. Comprehensive car insurance covers loss or damage from accidents, fire, theft, and third-party liability. But the Gold package gives you increased coverage for rental car and windscreen, personal accident, medical benefits, deductible waiver, and 24-hour roadside assistance where available. Our Star General Gold package also gives you up to $2,500 for accidental damage to a rental car anywhere in the Bahamas. Go Gold, made simple.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice. It's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
Livingston, just side of JP. Hey, mine, Livingston, just side of JP. I hear la la la. Just side of JP. I hear la la la. Just side of JP. Don't mind Livingston, just side of JP. Don't mind Livingston, just side of JP. I hear la la la. Just side of JP. I hear la la la. Just side of JP. Going down the road.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Morning 6.9. Dwight Strong with Laverne Gardner. And changing gears at National Youth Guard recruitment war, right?
Yes.
Before the next cohort. Here to tell us all about that and the National Youth Guard in general. Very happy to have with us Lieutenant Commander Alan Dixon. Great to see you. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Strong. Good morning, Bahamas. I'm here on behalf of the National Youth Guard. For those who are not familiar with the National Youth Guard, it's a program that's designed to prepare young people ages 18 to 25 to respond in a time of natural disaster. It was buried through the aftermath of Dorian and having civilians who were unaware of what to do, how to assist in a time of natural disaster. So the idea came from the Prime Minister and the Office of the Prime Minister to go ahead and develop this program to try and train young people, bring them in, give them the necessary tools they need so that in the time of natural disaster, we can call them up. And not necessarily only natural disasters, but any time that we have a national emergency, need additional manpower, we can call them up and have them assist. For example, we had them assist during the general election. They were there doing crowd control, making sure people got water, helping out, assisting the disabled and the old people. We have when we have
those those in the recruits in that current and that previous cohort. They were doing that.
Those are the recruits as well as people we call as former recruits we call them.
Okay, great.
We are, because the National Guard is designed to be somewhat like a Guard is, where we call up people when needed, and they come in and they serve.
Excellent.
And another example is when we need to do surveys. We call say who's available. They come in, they go out, they get the training. They go out and they hit the roads and they do national surveys for us. So wherever the government needs additional manpower, we'll call them in.
All right. So remind folks when it started exactly and how many cohorts you've had so far.
Okay, National Youth Guard started in 2023. So far we've had 6 cohorts. Wow. We're about to launch cohort 7, and I want to address this right now because I found that we have a lot of young people who are trying to reach out to the National Youth Guard and they did not receive a response. I just want to say to you, if you reached out, if you filled out an online application, or if you visited the website, or you sent us an email, etc., and you didn't hear back from my staff, we probably didn't get your information.
Okay.
I have a very diligent staff who's always pouring over the information, always reaching out, trying to contact people. And here's the thing: we're 3 weeks away from the next cohort. Wow. We're looking to bring them in on August 15th. So now is your time to reach out to us. I'm going to give you our numbers. We have 2 office numbers, 502 and 502-3348. You can also reach us through WhatsApp, 819-1121 and 427-8468. You reach our office 9 to 3 Monday to Friday. Someone's going to answer. If you WhatsApp us, we're going to reach back out to you. If you didn't hear from us, if you didn't have a conversation with one of our people, you didn't schedule an appointment, I advise you to reach out to us now so we can get you in, do an interview, get you in this next cohort.
All right, so I want to find out about the pop-up and what the requirements are. Before we get to that, let people know about some of the opportunities. You mentioned some of the things that you've called on some of the those who've been through the program to do, but other opportunities that have come out after folks move through the National Youth Guard program.
Well, here's the thing. In order for us to ask you to take care of other people, we first need to teach you how to take care of yourself. So we have leadership training as well as disaster training. We have National Training Agency comes in. They're one of our partners. They give you job readiness training. Teach you how to fill out a resume, how to dress for an interview. And beyond that, we have a lot of partners who are looking to take in people for job opportunities after we train them. So we have people like Royal Caribbean, Antiquities and Monuments. Wow. A lot of law enforcement. I'll give you a story. Our last graduation, Commissioner Belize showed up, and at the end of the graduation, she said, I'm bringing in some people this Friday. I'm interested in this person, that person, and that person. So we will she pulled people right after the graduation. The Defense Force just graduated the last 104 people. 17 of those people were National Youth Guard people. And 5 of those 17, they were a part of cohorts of my last cohort. They were in the 5th week of the program. I got a call. They said, do you have anybody there that may fit the criteria? I said, I sent up some names, and those 5 guys got in. And they graduated.
Excellent. All right. So I've heard some of the training is rigorous. What does that entail? Are they training like Defense Force personnel, or is it not as tough as that?
It's not as tough as Defense Force.
You sure?
Very positive. we have very skilled instructors, and some of them have done the SHORE program. Some of them have done new entry training, etc. I have them on a leash. I tell them this is a civilian program, and this is a volunteer program.
Right.
What we doing new entry training, what we doing the Rangers program, what we doing the SHORE program is not what we're doing there.
Okay.
And new entry training, they're trying to break you and make you a new being, trying to make you a Marine.
Wow.
What we're trying to do is stretch you, increase your capacity, We're not trying to make you a new person because we want to take you and put you back out in our civilian world. You can't take a Marine and put them back in the civilian world in that aspect because we build different things.
Right. Okay.
That sounds very intimidating.
You know, right?
I'm just talking about the Marine part. That sounds very intimidating for the Marine part, but certainly what you're doing with this Youth Guard program is tremendous. And to have those many people graduate and move on further, that's excellent. So I'm hoping that this upcoming cohort is full and everybody's successful. How many people do you have? And this is just a question, just curious. Of the people who actually enroll, do you have a percentage who do not complete the program? What's your success rate like?
We have some people that drop out of the program, usually because of something they did not disclose. They were not, some of them, like I say, it's a volunteer program, so you can decide to leave.
Mm-hmm.
But usually we bring in about 80 to 100 people, and we may lose about 15 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, due to sickness, maybe injury. I'm definitely working on keeping that down to a minimum.
Right.
And then we have just some people who said, this isn't for me.
Because you have to live at the base, right?
Yes.
For how many weeks?
We're looking at 10 weeks on base.
10 weeks living at the Defense Force base.
Because let me walk you through this.
Mm-hmm.
The first phase is 6 weeks, this is where we do our leadership training and our disaster preparedness training. So we're going to teach you how to do shelter management. We're going to teach you first aid. We're going to teach you psychological first aid, which is something different altogether. We're going to give you that CERT training, which is community emergency response, which means you look for injured people, you clear debris. So basically, we're sending in those impact teams after an incident.
Yeah.
We have one of our great partners, the police fire branch. They come in and they teach them firefighting. So they do firefighting, and then they do a DRM comes in and they go a little further into preparing for disaster response. What you need to take with you, how to respond to other incidences like wildfires, etc.
Mm-hmm.
We do the STCW certification, which is an international certification that gives them an advantage to have that skill set to work in the maritime field.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're interested in working in the maritime field, you can come in, you get that training. Now that training would usually cost you over $1,000 to get on your own. Okay. But if you come in to join this program, you can go ahead and you get that for free. As a matter of fact, during the 13 to 16 weeks that you are with us, we provide you a weekly stipend of $150. While you're with the program, we clothe you, we feed you, we house you. If you're from the family islands, we will fly you in.
Whoa. Okay.
We will accommodate you, and when the program is over, we'll fly you back out. Because here's the thing, this is a misnomer for this program. This is not a feeder program for law enforcement. Right. We have some people who get into law enforcement, everybody. Mm-hmm. Because here's the thing, the National Youth Guard program has no educational requirement, and I must say that again. There is no educational requirement to join the National Youth Guard.
Mm-hmm.
You may have the 5 JCs, etc. We welcome you. You done well in school. Come in. This is because, like I said, we're looking to help you take care of yourself as well. First 6 weeks, we're doing disaster training on base. The next 4 weeks, we're taking you into BTVI. We're looking to point you towards disciplines like carpentry, electrical, plumbing, maybe Microsoft Office if you're looking to do something in a clerical area. But you do that 4 weeks, you get a certification there. It's not going to make you a carpenter or electrician, but it's going to give you a familiarity of the subject matter, and it's going to give you the opportunity to decide, well, is this something I want to pursue? And we have partners in the construction field as well who are looking for carpenter apprentices, looking for electrical apprentices. We have a lot of employers that are looking to pull people from our program. We have partners like Cartwright Bedding. They're always looking for people. Like I said before, Royal Caribbean is always looking for people to take on their key. Mm-hmm. Antiquities and Monument. Actually, several others. Like I say, most law enforcement is reaching out. We have people in the police, immigration, training right now.
So, do you need to know how to swim?
No, you do not need to know how to swim.
Okay. Do you need to be? You have to have some level of physical fitness.
You have to be physically capable, and you have to be mentally, because it's gonna stress your body and your mind somewhat.
Yeah.
Because the routine starts at 4:30 in the morning, and ends at 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
We have basically 6 hours of classroom time. You have 2 hours of physical training, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, and between that, we're training you in other things. We put you in a barracks environment. We're looking at maybe 20 people per room, and so in that what we're trying to do is we're trying to simulate what it would be like if you have to respond to a natural disaster.
Emergency conditions.
So the first 3 weeks, we take your phones from you, so you don't have any phones. You go into that environment. So because here's the thing. If we send you to a family island after a disaster, 9 times out of 10, the first thing the hurricane is take out is your telecommunications.
It could be worse. Yeah. All right. So you said 10 weeks. Do you get to go home at all? Do you get to see your family during that period?
After the first 3 weeks, on the Saturday, Sundays, as we like to do. On Saturdays, we try to do community service because we as well. Not only looking out for yourself, not only looking out time of disaster, but looking out for non-governmental organizations. So we'll go out to the Salvation Army, we'll assist them. We'll go to the Red Cross, we'll assist them. We'll go to Clifton Heritage and clean up trails, etc. So we get them in that mindset that this is a part of being a good citizen. Because the end goal is to get a more productive citizen.
Okay. So age requirements. What age do you need to be a part of this?
Okay, let's go to the requirements. We're looking at Bahamian citizens, 18 to 25. Like I said, no educational requirement. However, you need to be physically and mentally capable. You need to have a clean police record. Because we have other programs. We have other programs for people who have those challenges. This program is a very short program. We don't have the time to address criminal behavior.
Okay.
So we're looking at somebody a clean police record and a couple other things we try to do after we bring you in. We give that stipend through Bank of the Bahamas. And so we need you to get a Bank of Bahamas account, and we want you to get a personal account. That's why we do 18.
And you need that before they get into the program, is that right?
Preferably, you get that before you get into the program. Here's the thing. If we have a very, very good relationship with the Bank of the Bahamas, we're basically 3 weeks from the start. If you go to the Bank of the Bahamas and said, I want to open up an account, I've been accepted to the National Youth Guard, they're going to open up the account for you. They're going to expedite that for you. They're going to not require you to make a deposit. We'll make the deposit once you get into the program.
Right.
So you don't even need to have the deposit to open up that account.
Okay. All right. So again, you've got Ken, you mentioned people have dropped out before. Can somebody who's dropped out before reapply to enter? How do you look upon those?
Yes, if you have a change of heart, you decide, okay, I want to do this. Because we've had situations where people dropped out and they came in with their fast out and they saw how it benefited their friends, so they came back the next time. And so, if it's a medical situation where you're medically disqualified, we won't take you back in.
Okay.
But if it's you just wasn't feeling it right then, or else came up and you decide to come back. As a matter of fact, we reach out to people who may be suitable to return. We're not very discriminatory.
Okay.
In our processes.
And then for some, this will be rough because it'll be the first time away from home for a long time.
Yeah.
Right?
And 18 is still pretty young.
Yeah.
They might not take the shell shock.
Right.
Come back at 20 and say,
I think people a lot older couldn't handle this.
Yeah.
But this is a wonderful thing. All right, so you're going to have the pop-up. The first one, this is another one tomorrow. This is not the first one you've done.
No, this is not the first one. The first one we did was in St. George's Park in Centerville.
Okay.
But the pop-up is going to be tomorrow at Christie Park. For those who don't know what Christie Park is, it's just beyond KFC in Oaksfield. The road is called Pitt Road, but you may be more familiar with Nassau Street. The park is basically between Pitt Road and Nassau Street.
So very close to where we are right here.
Just north of our current location. We ask you to come out. We ask you to bring your passport. You bring your police record. Any academics certifications you may have. And here's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. You might say, oh, I got a D in math and an F in English, and I got an A in art. Bring that. Because here's what those national certifications do. It shows your areas of strength and your areas of weakness. Because I might have somebody who was looking for a painter. You don't need maths and English to paint.
Okay.
Right? But they say we got an A and R. You might be the man you might have a B in technical drawing. I might have the man who's looking for a carpenter assistant. Bring whatever you have because it tells a story and it helps us to place you and help us to identify your strengths and weaknesses to see what area may be best suited for you.
So tomorrow, 1 to 5, right?
1 to 5, Christie Park.
And you're going to be doing interviews out there.
Yes. It's a full process. We bring you in. We fill out the application form. You fill out the medical form. You sit down. You do an interview. You may find out right then whether or not you accept it.
Wow. And you got another pop-up coming up after that one?
We have a next pop-up the following Friday, which is going to be on Pinewood Park.
Okay.
No, actually our next pop-up is going to be at Bacardi Park on Carmichael Road. We're gonna do Carmichael Road next. And then the following Friday, we should be in Pinewood Park.
All right, so you got a couple more of these.
Yes.
If you can't make the pop-ups.
We're in office. 9 to 3, Monday to Friday. That's the Ministry of National Security. You come there. Now, here's the thing. You come to the Ministry of National Security. You don't come there in Crocs. You don't come there in cut-up jeans. You come there dressed appropriately.
Right.
Say that you need to say the National Youth Guard. You could come in there. You could fill out an application form. We could start the process you there. But I advise you to give us a call. Let me give you the numbers again. Office numbers are 502-3348, or you can WhatsApp us at 819-1121 or 427-8468. Have a conversation with one of my people. They can give you an appointment. We can get you processed. Time is very short. 3 weeks is not a lot of time.
No.
And you may need to update your passport or update your national insurance card. So reach out to us as soon as possible. Give us a call.
And again,
Send us a WhatsApp.
18 to 25.
18 to 25.
If I'm 26, can I?
That's a case-by-case consideration.
Okay.
We'll interview people 26, 27. Now, we don't do people who are 17.
Okay.
Because, like I said, we need you to have your own account. We've had bad experiences with that joint account thing and etc. We want you to be because we're trying to make you responsible citizens. So we try to teach you leadership and how to be responsible for yourself.
Okay. We're running out of time, Lieutenant Commander Dixon, but let's take this call really quickly. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Yes, good morning. Great show. But I'm being a little facetious, but I'm really curious. You mentioned that sometimes the law enforcement may tell like defense and police, and you kind of get to. Do you go through the same 13 weeks or whatever the police and defense was training? You do that all over again?
Our training is not like
exemption or something. You get a little buy or.
So they'd be accepted into the police or defense force, and they'd have to go through their training, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. My program is a civilian program.
Right.
And I have to mention this because a lot of people ask this question. Young men, you don't have to cut your hair to join my program.
Wow. Which you would with the others.
Yes, that question. The qualifications to get into the law enforcement are different per organization, and it's more strenuous. Okay. There are things that they're going to require as far as medical clearance that I do not require. So you could get into my program with little deficiencies. And for example, my program doesn't require you to be able to swim.
Right.
To join the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, swimming is a requirement.
Right.
So I need to add this as well. This program, in spite of popular belief, is not a feeder program for law enforcement. If we identify people who qualify for law enforcement, we will direct, and they are interested in that, we will direct them forward. Because some people qualify and are not interested. Yeah. But if you're interested and you're qualified, we will steer you towards. We will assist you and really, my program will put you in the front of the line because I have a personal relationship with those groups. So they'll call me, say, we're recruiting who you have.
Yeah.
I send you information.
Somebody's texting. They're saying, have you sent anybody to the Department of Corrections? Because the commissioner there was saying he didn't have many male recruits. So
actually, we do have a few people with the Department of Corrections right now.
Okay.
Like I say, but then I have no academic qualifications for my program, so not everybody in my program will qualify for.
Okay, understood. So we got about 30 seconds. You said it. If you're coming to the Ministry of National Security, you need to look the part. But do you need to look a certain way for the pop-ups?
No. Come for the pop-ups. That's why we're going to where you are. You might. We were in George's Park, and this young man was just walking by, dragging slippers. I said, "Come over here, young man." Had a conversation with him. Found out that he did reach out to us through the website. We had never received his information, so we were able to sign him up, interview him. He should be in this next cohort. So we're not that particular. That's why we're coming to you. But when you come to us, you have to come looking a certain type of way.
All right, one more time, remind folks about tomorrow, where you're going to be, what time.
Okay, tomorrow we're going to be at Christie Park from 1 to 5 p.m. We're going to be there. We're going to do this entire process for you. We have a full staff there. We're going to take your applications. We're going to do your interviews. And here's the thing. Don't wait on that if you don't have to. If you could reach our office today, go ahead, give the office a call. We may be able to process you even earlier than that. But we're going to be on Christie Park trying to reach our foot traffic, trying to reach those people doing our transportation. They could walk out of Baintown. They could walk out of, what's that?
What, Chipping
right there. Fill out the application form. We'll get you started.
If you turn 18 in September, October, would you
now here's
be
the
open?
Thing. We have another late January, early February.
Okay.
We're going to be doing another cohort. So here's the thing. If you're going to turn 18 between now and December, go ahead and come on out. Because we like to reach out to people kind of early. Mm-hmm. We'll have you on that waiting list. We'll have you on the front of the line for cohort 8.
Yeah.
So maybe you're 17. Come out.
Okay.
Check it out. See if it's something you're interested in. Yeah.
Okay. Lieutenant Commander Alan Dixon, I feel your passion. Appreciate you being here this morning. Looking forward to great stuff coming out of this. National Youth Guard, you're doing good things. Keep it up. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the time, Mr. Strong.
Really appreciate it. All right, we're going to break for news headlines. We got SBDC. When we come back, this is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Don't lick nobody. Don't lick nobody. Don't lick nobody. Don't lick nobody.
Headed to South Florida soon? Holiday Inn Express in Plantation welcomes you to the heartbeat of Florida fun. Whether it's business or pleasure, the Holiday Inn Express is close to sensational shopping, captivating dining, and nightlife. Elevate your Florida experience. Sleep well and rest easy at Holiday Inn Express. Complimentary breakfast buffet featuring Cecil in our 24-hour on-site fitness center with cardio equipment and free weights, or take a refreshing swim in our outdoor pool. Your special Bahamas tourist rate awaits. Holiday Inn Express, 1701 North University Drive. In Planter now. Call directly at 954-472-5600 or the sales department for reservations and additional information.
Can you see me? I might be bruised, frequently absent, depressed, and even distracted. Can you see me? I might be branded with tattoos, over-sexualized, and controlled by a person that is older than me. Can you see me? I might always have a bodyguard, fearful, and never have access to my identification card. Can you see me? I might always sound scripted or rehearsed, and I wrote this verse so that you would be able to see me. If you think someone is a victim of trafficking in persons, call police emergency contact at 919 or Crime Stop 8477. This message is being brought to you by the Ministry of National Security.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Thursday, July 23rd, 2026. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. And this morning, it is time for a monthly series with SBDC Bahamas, the Small Business Development Center. Always a pleasure to talk with them. This morning, we are talking about their Family Island programs. Very happy to have with us Senior Business Advisor for Long Island, Crooked Island, and Acklands, Ramona Taylor, and a Senior Business Advisor for Andros, Berry Islands, and Eleuthera and Abaco, Lashante Hannah Ebanks. Good morning. Great to have you with us.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Bahamas.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so we want to find out about both of you, Lashante and Ramona. But before we do that, tell us what a Family Island Business Advisor does with the SBDC.
Okay. Go ahead, Lashante.
So, morning again. So, my role is to support entrepreneurs at every stage of their business journey. Whether someone has an idea they're just beginning to explore or they're looking to grow an existing business. So, I provide one-on-one advisory services, assist with business planning, financial projections, whether that's strategic planning, and help connect entrepreneurs with programs and funding opportunities that can move their business forward.
Okay, all right, excellent. All right, so Ramona, so how long have you been doing this? Again, you're with Long Island, Crooked Island, and Acklands. Tell us where you are and how you came to be working with SBDC.
Well, thank you for that. I've been around SBDC pretty much from inception. It's about 7 years now. And basically, I got on board through my association with the Chamber of Commerce. And over time, well, originally I started out as just being the advisor for Long Island. And then as the organization progressed, Family Island advisors we're all assigned groups of islands, as you noted earlier when you introduced us. So basically, I do exactly what Lashante had said, meet the clients. Every idea is a good idea as far as we're concerned. And our thing is to try to get Family Island people on board with programs so that they can be successful as anybody else. And we recognize one of the things that is special is that we live on the island. So we live among the people and we understand the challenges. We know what is going on. We know that the complaints, the suggestions that we get from our clients is real because we live it too. So I've been in the trenches, like I said, for almost 7 years, and I've had some pretty good success. And this initiative, this Family Island, we've dubbed it the Back to the Islands initiative. This was designed by the Senior Family Island Advisors. We're a team across different islands. And like I said, we live among the people. We recognize the challenges. We recognize that we cannot expect to take a Family Island business and fit it into the programs designed for the bigger islands. So we created this initiative specifically with our realities and our opportunities and ways that we can to build and ensure our future.
That's wonderful. So we're going to find out a whole lot more about the initiative in just a bit. Lashante, tell us about your experience and where you are and what it's been like so far.
So I live in North Andros, and Andros is a big place. So
Yeah.
we have Central, we have South, Micro-Key, and believe it or not, the island is big and everyone still, I would say, live as they're separated. But I also have responsibility for Berry Islands. And just, I guess, a few weeks, I obtained Abaco and Eleuthera. And those two on its own is a whirlwind.
I'm
so
sure.
My experience with right. So my experience with entrepreneurs extended way back in 2021. Before I got on board with SBDC, I had already, in my own capacity, assisted many entrepreneurs with business licenses, business planning, and all of that. So when the role came up for Andros, I jumped on it because I had, within myself knew I was capable of providing that service already.
Yeah.
So that's how I got involved.
What if I could ask a question? I'm sorry, Dwight. If both Ramona and Lashante, what are you finding are the interests of in your respective areas? Is there a particular business interest that people are more interested in because of? Is there a particular industry that they're focused on more so than others? What would you say maybe the two most predominant interests?
Okay, from my experience with Cricket Island and Acklands, basically a lot of the interest is around tourism-related businesses, and that's across the board, whether it's through vacation rentals, small businesses that relate to tourism in some way, whether it be through crafting. Um, and also, we have a very big fly fishing industry down in these islands. And this is something that I'm not sure that a lot of Bahamians are aware of, but some of the
Okay.
best bone fishing and flash fishing in the country are in and around Crooked Island and Acklands. So though we're seeing a lot of interest from persons who may already have an established fly fishing business and want to improve it. We also have some very talented people down there as far as crafting and making things. There's the Cascarilla industry where they harvest the bark. And we've been to the islands. We've seen this piece of cascarilla that then goes as being exported out to other countries. When we need to harness that and process this thing here so that we could benefit from it.
Indeed.
But right now it's being harvested and sent out of the country.
Mm.
And then you have they make teas, like you have a tea company based in Acklands, and they're all over. So there's a lot of stuff going on down there, and the interest varies, but like primarily it's tourism related and fly fishing.
Yeah. Lashante, I want to hear you answer that question as well. And especially with some of these islands, they're so different, right? Abaco and Eleuthera from Andros.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure you're seeing a lot of different things, but Laverne's question.
Right. So from my end, what I continue to see are opportunities, like Ramona said, in tourism, agriculture, fisheries, food production, marine services, construction, and a lot of the creative industries as well, with straw work. At the same time, technology is opening doors for entrepreneurs to offer digital services and reach customers well beyond their own communities. So a lot of entrepreneurs, they don't put their work out there just because they don't know where to go. But this is a digital world, so that door is kind of opening more as well for family island entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm. Now, any unique issues for the specific islands with these groupings that you all have? Like, wow, this is so different from my other island here, or unique challenges that you're finding?
Well, Dwight, in the family, I know you have we have shortfalls across the country, but in the more underserved islands, like, the Southeast and that sort of thing. And I didn't speak to Long Island a little while ago, but I'm based in Long Island, and we all face, and I think one of the main challenges that our entrepreneurs will face is the communications part of it. Okay, we do have the power outages. We can speak to that. We have shortages and all sorts of infrastructural inefficiencies and deficiencies, but communications, and because programs like this are done online.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're talking about, you're saying to the person, oh, you gotta complete your training components online, it can be challenging for these people because the services are not up to standard.
Wow.
And this is very painful. And so if you travel throughout these islands, you'll find that, that's a cry across the board. And so that's one of the main challenges that I get from people, because, sometimes we just take it for granted. Oh, just, log on and log on. But a lot of them don't have access to a computer. They may have a phone, but they don't have access to a laptop or something. So I think these are things that we need to look at, and you know, that somewhere along the way we need to try to correct that to make these services available to a higher standard, and also to have places where persons can go to, whatever,
Yeah.
to do what they need to do.
Yeah. Maybe if somebody were to open something like a web shop where you could use a computer, but the name has been corrupted for something else. Sorry, but but Lashante, what about you? Any unique issues in specific islands, maybe?
So, I mean, right now I can only speak from where I am, that I see on a daily. So, what I've seen most are, a lot of young persons and persons coming up in age, they tend to leave the island um, right out of high school, whether they've been living here after 10 years being out of school, they run to many keys to work. They go to Nassau where they have, more job opportunities. So that's really sad to see. But I always encourage, persons to look around the island and ask themselves, what need exists that no one is meeting. And often the best business ideas come from solving everyday problems within our own communities.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so let's talk about the Back to the Islands initiative. What is this about? What's different? What's new about this?
Okay. Well, the Back to the Islands initiative, like as I said before, was designed by the Family Island Advisors. And it's the first initiative of its kind that is created specifically for the Family Islands to address their unique challenges and needs, and to help entrepreneurs in these islands build sustainable businesses, not just for today, but for the future. And in doing so, we're building the economies of these islands. So this, like I said, this initiative is special. It is special to us, the Family Island Advisors, because we listened to the people in the communities. We heard their cries, and we went back to our superiors in Nassau, and we said, look, we understand, we love the initiatives that we're working on. We do what we have to do, but could we do something special for our Family Island people? And this is the end product of that. And we're very proud of it, because what this will do, it will allow persons in the more underserved islands, the more remote islands, to have an opportunity to come forward with an idea. And like we tell them all the time, no idea is a bad idea. I mean, there's bad ideas out there, but when it comes to business, and when it comes to our communities, and as Shante said, there's nothing like need. What do you say? Necessity to create a solution. And so across the islands, we're finding that people are coming forward, and they have, I've been in groups with young entrepreneurs, and to go along the table and everybody has a different idea. That's really encouraging. So you'd be surprised at the things that people come up. What is even more surprising when you see those people take a few $1,000s and put it to work, and they create something that's sustainable and successful. And this is what this program is all about. It's about giving those persons who maybe thought they didn't have a chance, who is having difficulty accessing funding or advisory services, giving them an opportunity. And so this is where we come in, and that's what the Back to the Islands program is about. We're trying to get also within that theme is to encourage people who may have been thinking about coming back to the islands to, yes, to jump on that and to come up with an idea that can take them back to the islands. You understand?
Excellent. Okay, so what are the requirements and how much funding are we talking about here?
Okay, the requirements for this program are straight up. Right now we are hosting meet and greets across the islands to advise persons of what's required. And what the main requirement is that anybody applying would have to live on one of these islands. And I should say here that the first cohort of this program is broken up into 3 cohorts, and this is the first one. So they're getting the first taste of it, and it's going to be across 10 islands. I'll name them. That's the Berry Islands, Bimini, San Salvador, Rum Key, Ragged Island, Mayaguana, Inagua, Auckland's Crooked Island, Long Key, and Ragged Island. And so these 12 islands that are being impacted at this time. And yeah, so those ones are going to be in the first cohort, and are simple. You need to complete the application, but before you complete the application, there is a survey. We have a survey out that's called Get to Know the Islands, and we're going to use that survey to get information on how we can build out, for future programs and that sort of thing. But we'd also get information from persons on the islands and potential applicants as to, what they're facing and to get an idea of what they're dealing with. But the requirements are, you have to complete the survey, then you will complete the application, the online training. We're going to have a online training program. That's 8 modules. You complete the training, and then you complete your application, and then you would submit your completed application. But what you're going to need is going to be along with the completed application, you need a valid Bahamian passport, proof of address that you're actually living on one of these islands, which can take the form of a voter's card or a utility bill. That could be cable, EPL, BTC, whatever, a utility bill, current 2026 business license, an executive summary that doesn't need to be any more than 3 pages, that would explain give an overview of your business and what it is, or your business idea. And then you're going to need vendor quotations. And this is something that a lot of people don't take into consideration when they're completing their application. They don't mind this. And this is something that we need. We don't pay money to. Money is going to be paid to the vendor of your choice. So if you're getting someone to do work for you or to provide a service, you get a vendor quotation. Along with that, the vendor needs to provide you with his banking information, and it has to be a business account. So these are some of the things that persons who want to apply need to be aware of. And like I said, it's no good if you're living in Nassau or Grand Bahama. Don't apply for this cohort because it's not for you. This is for these islands, and your business has to be located on those. And by virtue of that, you should be living on those islands.
So what if I'm living in Nassau, but I want to move by November, December?
I mean, there's things, it has to make sense, Dwight. If you say you have a plan, and as long as the business is going to be located on that island,
right,
and the business license states that, and there's ways to make it work.
Okay. And as you said, this is the first cohort. There'll be others. So when I finally do move in the future, maybe then I can take advantage of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So about funding, what are we looking at here?
So eligible
Ashante?
entrepreneurs will have eligible entrepreneurs will have the opportunity to apply for up to $15,000 in standalone grant funding. And what makes this initiative unique is that it goes beyond funding. So participants will also benefit from practical training, one-on-one advisory support, and business development resources that are designed to help them, build stronger and more sustainable businesses. So it's a comprehensive program that focuses on long-term success, not just financial assistance. So that's what we're looking to, up to 15,000.
Right. Okay. And like you said, training, give us a little idea of how that's going to work. How often will that happen? How much time do I need to dedicate to this?
Okay, so the program is designed to give entrepreneurs the practical training that they can apply immediately into their business. So participants will receive training in areas such as business planning, financial management, pricing, branding, marketing, digital payment solutions, business continuity planning, and even how to use artificial intelligence and technology to improve productivity. In addition to the training, every participant will receive one-on-one support from a dedicated business advisor who will help guide them through the program, answer questions, and provide personalized advice based on their business needs. Our goal is to ensure entrepreneurs leave with the knowledge, confidence, and support they need to grow sustainable businesses. And we're looking at about 8 to 10 weeks for the training to be completed.
So this is once a week, or how many hours each time, or what?
So no, so it's self-paced. So
Okay.
you work through it in your own time, but we will guide you along the way. Um, so you don't pass the deadline and be like, okay, I didn't finish my training course. I haven't received a certificate of completion I needed for my application. So it is self-paced, but you still have that time frame to get it completed.
Right. Okay. Deadlines, are there deadlines for folks to sign up for this, to be a part of the first cohort?
Well, we haven't actually, the
yeah,
program
so-
will be launched next week. And once we establish these timelines, then that will be announced through various, ways, using probably social media and programs like this to get the information out there as to the launch date and the deadlines. But Dwight, we want to reinforce here that people have to understand you can't just complete one component and expect to achieve, the end goal. It is a program, persons to understand that if you're going to apply, you're going to need to commit yourself to doing all the parts of it. You're going to you're going to complete the survey, you're going to complete the training, then you're going to complete your application, and eventually you'll submit. And hopefully, at the end of it, you'll be awarded the grant. And I guess as as LaShante mentioned earlier, up to $15,000 is available for successful applicants.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. You called another name there. So there's not just the two of you as senior business advisors for the Family Islands. There are a couple others. Yes?
Yes, there are others, but Ms. Gibbs Karika was supposed to have joined us this morning, but she was unable to do so. But we do have advisors across the islands, and we're all we may be based on one island, but that does not mean we are stuck on that island. We are like the sun. We shine all over the Bahamas.
Okay.
The Bahamas.
When people want to reach,
I love that.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
great,
that.
right? If people want to reach out to you all, find out more information about the islands where you are, and about just getting information about doing business as a family islander, and advice that you give them, let us know what they should do.
So my advice is simple. So don't wait for everything to be perfect before you begin. Start by researching your idea and asking yourself whether you're solving a real problem and who your customers will be. So then I would seek guidance. That's exactly why the SBDC exists. We can help you evaluate your idea, develop a business plan, update your finances, and prepare for growth. Every successful business started as an idea. The difference is that someone decided to take the first steps. And we'd love to hear from anyone interested in starting or growing a business. You can visit us at sbdcbahamas.com, follow SBDC Bahamas on all social media platforms, and join our SBDC Bahamas WhatsApp channel to stay informed on funding opportunities and training events. Whether you're just starting your idea or looking to take your business to the next level, SBDC Bahamas is here to support you every step of the way.
Okay. And Ramona, your advice?
Well, pretty much the same as what LaShante said. Like I said, we are here to help. I have an office on Long Island. Most people know where it is, but you can contact me on 472-8680 if you're interested in more information. Also, we've created all of us have created WhatsApp groups with our various islands. And so people are encouraged to reach out and let's discuss what, they may want to do. Then, this, like I said, you can visit open 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. And in our case, sometimes, we are, because you live in small communities, you meet people out and about. And once people they may have a question, there's no problem answering. So it's almost like we're always on because we're part of the community. And so we're always available. You can email, and then also, and there's another thing, you can log on to the site and register. Once you register, you will receive emails to your personal email box to say, advising about programs and initiatives, because people are always asking. Yeah. But the quickest way I tell them to know is to register, go online. It takes like 30 seconds. Put your name and your address in your email address, and you'll get an email to let you know what's happening with SBDC and what new programs are coming up.
Wonderful. And Lashante, how can they reach you?
So I am located in North Andros, Queens Highway. It's a triplex white. My telephone contact is 477-1431. And I'm always available Monday to Friday, 9 to 5.
And before we wrap up, any age restrictions on being a part of the Back to the Islands initiative? Any other restrictions for folks who might be interested that they need to keep in mind?
So there is no age restriction. Once you can obtain a business license and you have proof of your address, you are good to go. I would tell persons now is to start preparing now by gathering your business information and making sure you're ready to take advantage of the opportunity when registration opens.
And how long will the whole cohort run for?
So I would say 8 to 10 weeks, but we'll need more time to confirm.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. That includes the training. That includes, all the components from doing the survey to completing the training modules and everything. And at the completion, of course, then you submit your application. So it's a process. And this is what we tell our clients all the time. It's not an overnight thing. It's a process. You're going to have to go through the process. And at the end of that, it's the pot of gold.
Yeah. So this text is just coming in. So are you targeting people with businesses already? I mean, not necessarily, right? You just need to have the business license. Is that correct?
It could be an existing business or startup.
Right.
Some people may just come with an idea.
Yeah.
And some people may have an existing business.
Right. But you definitely need a business license.
Definitely need a business license.
Yes.
Okay. Great stuff. Again, remind folks how they can get more information. All the social media for SBDC and websites and some key things they need.
So visit us at sbdcbahamas.com. Follow us on SBDC Bahamas on all of our SBDC Bahamas WhatsApp channel to stay informed. So just one final thing. I want every entrepreneur listening today to know that we're here where you live. You should never limit what you want to achieve. The Family Islands are full of potential, talent, innovation, opportunity. At SBDC Bahamas, we're committed to helping entrepreneurs unlock that potential and build businesses that strengthen our communities and contribute to a more resilient human economy.
That is so good to know, because people have, I think a lot of people getting a little tired in your providence. But wonderful to hear it, and I'm very glad to hear that you all are doing well and helping folks with great ideas on the Family Islands. Ramona Taylor and Lashante Hannah Ebanks, and thank you for being here this morning. Really appreciate it. Keep up the great work that you're doing.
Thank you, Dwight. Thank you for having us. It's been a pleasure.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to wrap things up here on Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Hey folks, thanks for your patience. We'll be taking off very shortly. You should be wheels up in about 40 minutes. And due to a bumpy ride, snacks and beverage service has been suspended. AC is giving us some trouble. Sorry, folks. That was the entertainment. Yeah, I'm sorry about the smell, folks. We are aware.
I know.
Just one more quick note. We are going to have to deplane.
Come on! We're like the plane ride that isn't a nightmare. CG Atlantic Agents and Brokers. Good like that.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Hey kids, are you ready? It's back! The Jeff Rogers Summer Basketball Camp. July 27th to 31st at the Kendall Isaacs Gym, 2 to 5 p.m. daily, and August 3rd to 8th, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. for boys and girls from 5 to 18. Come enjoy the thrills of the big game alongside NBA legends and current superstars Michael Sweetbells Thompson, Michael Jr., Klay Thompson, Buddy Hield, Muggsy Bogues, and many others. Registration forms available now at the Seventh-day Adventist offices on Tony Williams Darling Highway. The Jeff Rogers Summer Basketball Camp.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cutters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Running low on summer funds? Squeeze every drop of fun out of your summer with a Fidelity personal loan. From backyard upgrades to family getaways, Fidelity is here to help. Call 356-7764 today.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Doctors Hospital CEO Dennis DeVoe says that renovations at their main hospital on Shirley Street and Collins Avenue will lead to works being undertaken over the next 12 to 18 months. DeVoe says the investment for the Grand Bahama Hospital is between $25 and $30 million, and that they are hoping to remain within that overall spend allocation for that facility, and that an investment for the Village Road Advanced Imaging Center is just over $7 million. More on all of these projects in today's Guardian Business section. The payment system will not make it significantly easier for fraudsters to move stolen funds beyond recovery, according to Fidelity Bank and Trust International CEO Gowan Bowe, who's arguing that the new platform simply accelerates an already secure payment process rather than creating new risks. Speaking with Guardian Business, Bowe said concerns surrounding the Central Bank of the Bahamas' backed system stem largely from a lack of public education and how the technology works. And the Caribbean and the Bahamas continue to dominate global cruise travel demand, with more than 6 in 10 cruisers already booking voyages to the region as the industry maintains strong momentum into 2026 and beyond. That's according to the latest cruiseline.com and Shipmate annual member survey. The survey polled more than 5,500 cruise travelers and found that 61.1% of respondents with future bookings have chosen Caribbean and Bahamas itineraries, making the region the most popular cruise destination by a wide margin. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Wednesday, your market movers: Consolidated Water up 10 cents, closing at $5.86. Emira Incorporated up 21 cents, closing at $13.31. The BISX All Share Index closing for 1, up 0.31. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. Laverne Gardner, that's going to do it for today. Just a reminder for folks to get the NASA Guardian, find the page with the Great Summer Escape giveaway information, because you could win big. All you need is your passport and to fill out the entry form, drop it in the entry box that has a Guardian in Oaksfield, and tune in to Guardian Radio for additional ways that you could be entered to win. And it is going to be great. The Great Summer Escape Giveaway, the deadline to enter is August 12th. The drawing is on August 14th. Laverne, thank you so much for being here.
Always a pleasure.
Glad to have you back with us. We'll talk again next week. And I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight, Strachan, have a great day. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
Everybody Wins Live, the winning is bigger, the action is hotter, and the excitement never stops. We're giving away thousands in cash and free spins every month through our high-paying casino tournament. From Spin-Off to Spin Rush to our high-energy slot race tournament, your next spin could turn into your next payday. But that's not all. Lottery players can chase the jackpot, where every $10 lottery spend gets you one step closer to bursting the next jackpot. Will you be our next winner? What are you waiting for? Visit Everybody Wins Live to see all the ways you can cash in.
Get ready to experience the sights, sounds, and flavors of Bahamian culture with the return of Gombe Summer Festival across the islands of the Bahamas. Follow Tourism Today Bahamas for festival dates and the latest updates. The road to Gombe starts now.
Yes, we go in Gombe. Yes, we go in Gombe. Come, let's spend that day. Everybody say, we go in Gombe. Come, let's go Gombe.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.